Hi guys, TotallyDubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review on the Edifier TWS1. Now these are true wireless earbuds that can be found between £30 to £50 in the UK and around $50 in the US. Links will be down in the description below in case you're interested. So these budget earphones come with a micro USB to USB cable, and they come with a very small selection of silicone tips and their charging case. Now the charging case is charged, as you can imagine, by a micro USB to USB cable. The actual charging case itself will give you 32 hours of playback time, which is pretty impressive given the actual small size of these earphones. In terms of the actual earphones themselves, they will last 8 hours on a single charge. So again, pretty impressive, and that's how it kind of adds up to 32 hours. Now the earphones design, they are IPX5 splash proof. In other words, you can have some rain and whatever have you, and even some sand or particles go on the earphones themselves, but the case isn't that water resistant, so just bear that in mind. It's available in two colors, black and white, and the one I've got in front of me, as you can probably imagine, is white. Now the case itself is magnetic, no sort of complaints, pretty small, pretty nimble, and I've got nothing to really mention about that. Some people complain about its plasticky look. Well, bear in mind it's about a £50 earphone, so there's some cost savings to be made in terms of design. The earphones themselves don't look particularly incredible. I would probably go for the black ones over the white ones, but nevertheless, you might prefer a all-white design. There's a left and right indicator on the side of the earphones, a charging connector over here so you can charge the earphones, and then the silicone buds over here, as you can see, reveal the nozzle of the earphones, pretty much as you would expect from any sort of true wireless earphone or any sort of earphone. Now the buds both have touch-sensitive buttons. A single tap will play or pause or answer or hang up a call. And if you double tap or triple tap, you can also seek in terms of music. So you can, previous or next in terms of music. The touch controls are actually surprisingly responsive. I was not expecting them to be this well thought out at this price, but they actually do work really well. I prefer physical controls myself. But anyway, the touch controls work relatively well, so pretty impressive in that respect. Now, before getting into the sound quality, I want to talk about a few things. First of all, the comfort. I found them very comfortable to wear. They're very lightweight earphones, and yes, they will stick out a little bit given their design, so therefore they'll attract wind noise, which isn't great. However, other earphones out there on the market also do attract wind noise, so it's not to be overly concerned about. Given at this price range, again, it's pretty impressive to say the least, specifically with the isolation and comfort you get with these. Call quality isn't great, even though Edifier actually claimed that it's got a CVC noise reduction for crystal clear audio. I wouldn't say these have got the best audio quality for recording, aka calls. So bear that in mind, that you might want to resort to your smartphone if you're going to be answering calls. Now, what is very impressive with these is the fact that they use the Qualcomm aptX chip, so therefore you have aptX codec at your disposal, which is absolutely insane given the price that these earphones come at. Most earphones will have SBC or AAC only, and that even extends out to very expensive earphones, whereas these have aptX codec, which is great, not only in terms of latency, so therefore I've got no video lag issues on Android. I can't test on iOS, so just bear that in mind. And I had good audio quality coming through because of that audio codec. So now moving on to from the Bluetooth, I should also say in terms of range, again, no problems whatsoever. Walked around 10 to 15 meters through walls, and it responded perfectly, and even the touch controls worked really well. However, there was one thing I did notice, and actually I noticed someone else on Amazon USA mentioned this, but sometimes what they found is that when they got the earbuds out of their case, only one driver would work, and I did notice this a few times. The essential fix, so to speak, was to pop them back in, give them a little while, and then pop them back out, and then they would automatically have that stereo sound again. However, sometimes only the left driver would work, and the reason why the left driver would work rather than the right driver is because the left driver is the master driver, whilst the right one is the slave driver. So therefore, when the left one gets out, it pairs to your phone, the right one should connect to the left one and communicate, and therefore create you that stereo sound. So worth bearing in mind that I did have that sort of issue. It's not an absolute first. I've noticed it very much in the past with other true wireless earphones. However, I thought to mention it over here because it seems like I wasn't the only one. So it's worth mentioning. Now let's go into sound quality, and here is where I was really impressed by these earphones. The TWS1 actually sound absolutely incredible for their price. So with the bass, you do have a relatively good extension on the sub-bass response. You get a nice little rumble. Yes, it is cut off, but given the price range, again, very impressive for what you're getting. The mid-bass is tight, it's controlled, it doesn't feel wobbly of any sort. Yet again, very impressive given their price. And then moving on to the mids, it was not overly recessed. Yes, there was some sort of V-shaped sound, but it didn't sound like it was completely pushed back and really, subdued and sounded muddy, so to speak. These actually sounded pretty good in terms of the mid-range. Again, all price relative. If you are comparing them to £200 earphones, then yes, they're going to sound very muddy and recessed. But given their price range, I was very impressed. They definitely were among the better side or best side of sub £50 earphones. In fact, there's no other true wireless earphones on the £50 that I can think of that would compete with the mid-range of these Edifier's TWS1s. The highs, again, provided a nice sort of clarity at the top end, good little sparkle. Again, no sort of inherent issues. It doesn't sound sibilant of sort, and nor did it sound too rolled off. Again, pretty impressive characteristics given the price of these earphones. Then came the soundstage. Now the soundstage wasn't as good as, let's say, the Creative Outlier Air, neither the Holy High earphones. I know it's a funny name to have, but these earphones have got some competition from Holy High. There's some other earphones which are vastly popular on Amazon. Make sure you check them down in the description below as alternatives. But those earphones had a much better soundstage, a kind of wider and deeper soundstage, whereas these sound a little bit more closed. Not to say they were completely closed, because in comparison to the ENOD earphones, which are completely waterproof, IP67 I think rated, or IPX67 rated earphones. In other words, you can chuck them in the water and they'll survive. These sounded a lot more open, gave a lot more width and depth to music, and therefore instrument separation came out a lot better with these earphones, even though they cost about £20 less than the ENOD earphones that I'm mentioning. Again, links to down in the description below in case you're interested, so do check them out so you have a sort of reference to what I'm talking about. So overall, in terms of sound quality, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I expected some muddy, crappy sound, poor connectivity, and very little Bluetooth codec support. But I was very surprised at what Edifier have done over here. There are some teething issues, to say the least. However, on the whole, if you can bear that sometimes you might have to pop them back in so that they repair with each other and you take them back and they sound great, you've got a fantastic package here. For £50 you're getting aptX certified earphones with 32 hours of total battery life, comfortable design, touch controls which are actually pretty responsive, sound quality which is excellent for the price range that you're getting, and what else is there to say? They're really good. So I would definitely suggest them. If you're on a budget, I would definitely suggest checking out the TWS1. Let me know if you do have them or if you are going to buy them in terms of your opinions or thoughts of them, be it from sound quality to the connectivity, potential problems or issues that you might face. Let me know in the comments below if you face the same things that I mentioned in this video. Very much intrigued to hear your thoughts. So there we go, guys. I've been totally dubbed. This has been, again, another unbiased, unpaid, unsponsored video. Just doing this because I love reviewing new tech, and I'm very much pleased to have tried these £50 true wireless earphones because they're actually fantastic. So good job, Edifier. So there we go, guys. Take care, and bye-bye.